It is a dark and stormy night on the United States-Canada border. Thunder rolls and lightning flashes. As a man stands on the precipice of Niagara Falls, ripped white scrubs hang about him as a ghoulish face and an aura of malice look on, laughing and cackling. What machinations cause this medical malpractice? Let's find out. Welcome to Mysteries in the Machine.
To our episode here. Ethan, we got an email.
We did.
We got a response from David.
Excellent.
Since we just released the first episode of the season. So sorry that we record things so far in advance that we're just getting to it now. But David says, "Morning, just listening to the episode now. Thank you for reading my message. I think maybe the best thing you could do is both pick an episode from the current season you've done and do a commentary for both. I wish it was every episode, but I'm greedy. Ahaha. Take care and enjoy the Scooby-Doo show. Sincerely, David." Because previously he was like, you should do commentary as like specials. So, and we've been thinking about that. I can't remember what we said before, actually.
Me neither, to be honest. But we'll figure that out.
Maybe it could happen.
Could.
I feel like if we did, and it had been a previous episode, I think we know which one it's gonna be.
Oh,
it's gonna be A Night of Fright is No Delight.
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely.
Clearly the most iconic. So
it is the most Knives Out episode that exists. So
Abby, Kayla, if you have not seen this episode already, highly recommend. It's probably the best episode of Where Are You? Just we actually have like people in the episode that it could potentially be multiple people.
What? they found a few nickels in the couch cushions and they're able to scrounge together some animation.
Crazy.
Clearly.
Next you're gonna tell me there's like a guest star and everything.
I know.
There is not a guest star. But no. Because it's the original show.
Okay.
But it's a very good one. And yeah, as Ethan said, it does feel very Knives Out. So
I love a good Knives Out. I'm so excited for the third movie. I'll keep getting random like pictures and trailers for it.
Yep, we are actually planning to have Kelly on for that. Spoilers for but
how dare you?
I know, how dare I? But yeah, December 12th is when it comes out.
I'll be sure to put it on.
Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and put that row in. So
yeah,
let's see that.
It's gonna be like in the middle of like season 2.
It's in the middle of season 2. Yeah, because it comes out between the Ozark Witch Switch and
This is
the
behind the scenes of how their podcast works is Google Sheets.
My brain's almost like, do we wait?
Type.
Like, but I guess we don't want to wait because we'll be recording it early. I don't know. I might have to figure out. We could always like record that and put that out like faster or something.
We could definitely do that.
So that could be swapped to somewhere else in the lineup there. But now it is a row. So be prepared for that, listeners.
Oh, I was looking at recording date.
Yeah, well, my brain was like, well, what if we like record that right after it comes out and then edit it and put that out like instead?
Yeah, you know? I agree.
That
would go here.
Because that's what Ray and I were doing when the Percy Jackson show was coming out in season 1, and what we'll probably end up doing in season 2. It's like, this is like new media. We want it to come out as soon as it's relevant.
Yeah, for sure.
week to
I
week.
get that.
So, yeah. All right, let's get to the episode.
Yay!
Hey, yo, meddling kids. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Ethan.
And, oh my goodness, the back of the mystery machine. It's opening up. And, wait, Abby, are you bringing somebody else with you today? What's going on here?
Yeah, I had someone here, so I thought I might just, bring her along.
Wow, 2 guests for 1? Wild.
It's a great deal we have here.
Who are you, mystery person?
Hi, I'm Kayla.
Hello!
Yep, I just happened to be at Abby's because we went to the Ren Fair yesterday, so I was here and you guys were recording, so it just made sense to join.
Of
Yay!
course.
Friendship!
Charlie, does
Also,
this mean we've had everybody from Scooby-Doo on the pod now?
I was literally just about to say this. I'm like, we finally got our last member of Scooby-Doo on the pod as a guest now.
I mean, even if I
Everyone's
wasn't
here.
here, I would have been on in 3 weeks anyway, but
This is
This is true.
It was going to happen anyway, but it's just a
Spoilers.
happy accident.
Forward to that episode.
Look forward
Yeah,
to
the
it.
episode that hasn't been recorded yet. Oh well.
It's the
Well-
3 of you, so it's going to be fantastic. No doubt.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, Abby, why don't you reintroduce yourself to our audience? Give us your pronouns, who you be, and tell us if you've seen the Scooby-Doo show before.
I'm Abby. I use she, her pronouns. I have seen this episode of the Scooby-Doo show, and I'm sure that I've seen others because they're watched in my HBO Max. Or maybe that's Charlie watching
That's
them on my HBO Max. I
That
don't
is
know.
It's my fault. I'm sorry.
It's fine. But I was like, oh, wow, I've watched the entirety of the Scooby-Doo show. It was suggested for me. It came right up. It was really easy to find. So thank you for that.
It's because I watched every piece of Scooby-Doo media while it was on Max. So, and slowly it's coming off Max. I'm very upset about it.
Are they going to make their own? I think they should make their own Scooby-Doo streaming service. They've got enough media at this point.
Why
There
don't they just go back
is
to
a
Boomerang?
lot.
Honestly, that's.
They used to
really
have
upsetting
a
thing.
Boomerang streaming service, but then
likely because of
did.
the weird massive rights issues between all the different.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, it was the most surprising thing was when the newest Scooby-Doo movies actually went on streaming. It is still currently streaming on Max as of recording, and the episode that has the most rights issues finally was on streaming for the first time ever. Wednesday is Missing. It's the episode that crossed over with the Addams Family, and I'm just like, wow, interesting. Never before, and we got to watch it on streaming. I'd never seen it before, so but. Yeah, Kayla, do you also want to introduce yourself to our audience with your pronouns and your Scooby-Doo history, of course?
Hi, I'm Kayla, she, her. Yeah, for Scooby-Doo show, I've obviously watched this episode and the one I will be on in a few weeks. Other than that, growing up, I know we watched What's New Scooby-Doo, Pup Named Scooby-Doo, and obviously both of the live-action films were big. And then growing up, I think we had soundtrack on CD for the second one, and I think that played a lot in the car on road trips and stuff.
Excellent.
Good stuff, good stuff. And Kayla plays our Daphne on Scooby-Doo. So
Yep.
that's the full crew. Amazing. Someday we'll all just be on an episode too.
I don't
It's
know if
going
that
to
will be
be
possible to have
Very
anything.
chaotic, but in try.
It will happen. Okay? Abby has suggested it. It's
The
gonna
thing
happen.
is, you need to find the right episode for that, and I've got one episode that would be for.
I just think
I think
was
that's probably
Taylor?
season finale material.
True.
that surely it will be a showstopper. I don't know how the show will function after that one. So
Mystery Incorporated, maybe? Mayhaps?
That's so far down the line.
Listen, that's a long way away.
All right. Well, we sure have an episode here for us. Now, I always ask people if they have history with the show or anything because the theme songs always iconic. Did y'all recognize the theme song specifically when watching this or no?
Not particularly, no.
I clicked skip intro. Sorry.
How?
I think that makes me a
dare.
bad watcher.
It does. It makes you terrible. The Scooby-Doo show has one of the more iconic ones, I think.
I agree.
I'll go back and rewatch it.
It's very
and
cute.
I will let whoever know whoever's editing this, I'll let them know my thoughts and they can insert them here.
That's me.
Okay,
There
so
we go.
Ethan will talk about what my thoughts are on the intro here.
Okay, great.
Dun, dun, dun.
Or not. I don't know. Maybe you were just listening to some blank space, and then that's Ethan's fault, everyone. So, or me.
If
'cause
it's
I-
blank space,
intro.
I'm getting out of it. I'm deleting it, but
Okay.
All right. Let's get into this. So, we sure have one here. The gang is going across the border to Canada or
Back
or
from
back
Canada.
to the US. I was confused, honestly. I was like, where are we?
I thought
Are
they
we in
were
the US or
going
Canada?
to Canada.
No, they're coming back
No.
because the guy is from the Royal Canadian
Border Patrol.
Border Patrol.
Oh.
It confused me. I was like,
I don't
are
know.
we?
That seems
About
very
that.
obvious.
Okay, it does. Okay, the wiki does say definitely Canadian Border Patrol officer. So
The guy
We're in
announced it
Canada.
himself.
yeah.
I am of the Royal Canadian Border Patrol. You have to
Listen,
take a
he
left.
also lied. So who's to say?
Fair.
Okay, well, yeah, but if they okay, I think that they are smart enough. Maybe not, because Fred, we find out in a second, he doesn't know his left from his right. But
No,
I
he
think
doesn't.
that they're smart enough to think, oh, if I'm in the US, why is there a Canadian Border Patrol agent here? You know, that I feel like they can handle that.
Listen, there's a reason why I was like, Fred is not allowed to be a ranger or know where the fuck he's going in Scooby Doo and Doo.
Yep.
Why is he always the one driving then?
Because it's his car.
Because it's his van.
Well,
He's the only one with insurance.
But surely somebody else should be telling him where to go.
You think these college age likely students have car insurance?
Somebody should be at least navigating him, right? Where's the passenger princess?
The best princess is Shaggy, and he's just
It is usually Shaggy, I feel like, who has the map. And he's not very good at it.
Well, because clearly he's using the map as a napkin.
obviously.
Or it's a
But you-
bib.
Yeah. Okay, that's just like a napkin you wear.
It's true. It's
A
true.
bib is a napkin you wear. That is true.
But yeah, so
Right.
he gives him directions, which then the sign turns, and Fred just forgets, like, oh, he said go left, not right.
He did, in fact, say, at the fork, go this direction. And he was
Not
like, there's a
this
sign. There's a sign pointing this way. Signs can be changed, sir.
With lightning. The lightning didn't destroy the sign. It just flipped it the other way.
I think
Yeah,
I think
'cause
we have
that's
to have
how
a shenanigan
lightning
for that.
works.
We have to have a
Yeah.
shenanigan for the sign. That's our first one of the episode. Like,
But-
what the fuck is
yes.
going on here?
There's also the lightning and thunder with that. It made me think, how many times do you think over the course of Scooby-Doo's history they've used that same thunder sound effect?
It's got to be thousands, if not hundreds.
It's innumerable.
Of thousands.
It just happens all the time now. You know?
That was their best purchase. That thunder sound effect
Mhm.
sound.
No,
Best purchase.
it actually cost them so much, so then they need to get their money's worth from it.
Yeah, honestly,
Massive licensing fee.
that could be why it's in there so much.
Given how
Maybe.
Hanna-Barbera did things, that would not surprise me at all if that is the most expensive thing they bought. for this show.
With a budget of 2 paper clips and a ham sandwich, you know?
And the time comes just gone. Shaggy ate it.
Exactly.
It is. It's true. So, also, this guy does fill our quota for don't go that way, creepy guy. You know, there's always got to be somebody telling you not to go there. And chances are, it's possibly that guy who's the bad
Mhm.
guy.
Shocker.
Maybe.
Crazy.
No way. Crazy.
Are you trying to give a spoiler? I haven't watched it yet, so don't give me spoilers. We don't know what's happened yet.
Well, it was kind of your homework for this podcast to watch the episode.
Well, maybe
So-
no. I'm saying maybe the listeners haven't watched it. That's what I meant. Sorry, the listeners haven't watched it.
Well, we do in fact spoil things quite often.
So you're
Yes.
telling me that it's that character?
Who knows? Maybe.
find
He
out.
says his
It
name
could
is
be anybody.
Officer Oldfield.
Which is the stupidest name.
It really is.
I mean, it could be
Yeah.
a guy's actual last name and not a fake name. We don't know that.
It,
Actually,
it very well could be, but
you know what's even stupider about this sign? Is that when you look at like the moment when it like turns around, it doesn't have anything on the other side of it.
yeah, it's just blank.
It's just blank. and it was pointing away from like the words were away from the road. Who was this directing?
I'm not exactly sure how that sign was working.
I don't.
This
think
sign
we
is
need to
very,
worry
very
about
stupid.
That sort of thing right now.
I'm thinking about it, okay? It's important to
Charlie,
me.
We are
How
too
many
far
minutes-
gone.
How many minutes have we spent talking about the sign?
More than we probably
It's at
should.
least
We probably
5.
should move forward.
Yep. All right. So they pull up to. Well, they find an ambulance on the road,
Mm-hmm.
and
Well, they're lost. They're like, well, why don't we follow this guy? He probably knows where he's going.
Of course.
yeah, it's clearly where
I mean-
ambulances are going is where you want.
I mean, it means civilization, assumably.
True. This
Yeah.
is true. So it sends them to Shady Sanitarium, which, okay, why does that make me think of an old person's home instead of what it's actually supposed to be, which is like a mental facility?
It's not a mental facility. I had to look this up. Sanitarium is actually just like a hospital for like incurable disease.
Is that what
Yeah,
it is?
It's not actually a mental institution. I thought that as well, and then was like looking into it because like
No.
clearly didn't make sense in the case of the episode. So I looked up the definition.
I actually knew about what sanitariums were because of John Green's book "Everything Is Tuberculosis."
Oh my god, that's on my TBR.
Yeah, that's like the main one. When you look at the definition, like tuberculosis was like the main disease it talked about.
Yeah,
It still sounds like an old person's home.
Either way, though, it's a very shady place.
Yeah, it's like that's not a place you'd want to try.
no.
Which you'd think Canada would have better names for their healthcare stuff.
Yeah, and of all the places for these kids to go, they really don't want to step foot in there if it's incurable diseases. Guys?
Luckily, it seems like
I
there's
mean-
actually no real patients in there, which, again,
yeah.
Yeah.
is given very loose reasoning.
Yeah, so they bring the patient in, and as the gang is watching, Scooby sees somebody in the window. Ooh, it's the creepy guy from the introduction. And then he's gone when he's like, Shaggy, look, it's a mad doctor. It's the mad doctor that Officer Oldfield told us to avoid by taking the other road. We went the wrong way, guys. We went the wrong way. So
Yeah, this is Charlie. This is another classic case of Scooby-Doo creepy face.
I mean, well, that is the ghost, but the Scooby-Doo creepy face does happen in a second when they go inside the place.
But before they go
Yeah.
inside, they have something else has to happen.
There's the dogs.
because the dogs. The
Oh
dogs.
my
attack them.
god.
There's an organ playing, and then there are dogs that attack Shaggy and Scooby.
Only
run-
Shaggy and Scooby.
Only Shaggy and Scooby. They run up a tree. There's shenanigans.
My favorite part of that is that after the dogs get like called back in, Velma's like, "Oh, we thought they were going to attack us." I'm like, "Girl, they were leaving you guys alone. They did not care about the three of you. They only cared about Scooby and Shaggy."
But why are these like organ music controlled dogs?
Because
Yes.
the doctor's doing brain experiments.
Right. But
It's-
like why is that not a huge red flag to any of them that they should get the fuck out of there?
It should
You have
be.
a dog.
They're the mystery
Guys, you
gang.
have a dog. Worry
Like-
about it.
It should be a red flag for anyone that's not in the mystery gang. That's probably their average Tuesday.
I know,
True
but
enough.
like these are what about like these are like dogs that were very clearly like trying to attack Scooby and Shaggy. Like have some sense of like self-preservation.
There's nowhere else they can go right
I was
now.
gonna say
Is
it's
the
either that or
problem.
the
Yeah.
Canadian wilderness.
Well, I mean, okay, they're not that far from the border. Clearly, like
Well, they
Oh,
couldn't
no.
find it the
Was
first
Fred gonna
time.
find his
really.
way?
no, but okay, yes, there's a whole other set of problems there.
So wait. This place is definitely in Canada though. 'Cause
Yes,
They technically haven't
Yes,
crossed the
it
border
is.
yet.
they have not. That literally part of the plot
There we
later
go.
on.
Again, I just could not remember which way they crossed the border.
Also, like as somebody who grew up in Buffalo, New York. My grandparents live like I don't know 10 minutes from Niagara Falls. Like that area is so like it's so touristy, which like of course they don't like necessarily care about that, but it's just like that adds another layer of like what is going on.
It's
here?
1976. It was a different time. The tourism hadn't built up yet.
Yes, it had.
Were you there?
My grandma was.
Listen, this show does not have enough money to put
be
all of
Have an
those
entire
like,
town full of people.
yeah, to have like more, extras and like setting design. It has to be empty fields.
Got it. Okay.
That's
Empty
what we have
fields.
money for.
Yes,
It's a lot
because
easier to draw.
got it.
So we meet Scooby-Doo Creepyface, aka
Yes.
Dr. Tewksbury, who invites them in. He's like, come on in, don't worry about the dogs, they're fine. They're in their cage. Their names are Cuddles and Schnookums.
That's what I named those two dogs.
Okay, here's the thing. I have thoughts and opinions about this because my dog, Bella, my sweet girl, I love her to death. She is part pit bull.
Mm-hmm.
She's not fully pit bull, but you can see, like, just based on how she looks, that there's some version of it in there. And people name pit bulls things like Cuddles and Schnookums, and they're apparently the most vicious dogs in the world. Which, number one, pit bulls get a bad rap. They can't lock their jaws or any of that bullshit. They just, I don't know. It's unfair to discriminate against dogs like that most of the time, but these dogs are actually, like, scary.
Yeah, they look like beyond the doctor doing brain experiments, he looks like he was doing some type of like genetic engineering of these dogs. They don't look quite right.
Yeah, definitely some crossbreeding there.
And
At the very
dogs
least.
exist as a product of their, like, how they respond and react as a product of their environment. Like, of course, Bella is kind and sweet and loving because don't give her a reason to, these dogs are being controlled by music. Presumably, there's some not great stuff happening.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why it's like, but also naming them Cuddles and Schnookums is like, these poor dogs. Oh, to have those names. Something like, I don't know, Joe and Bill?
Sure.
Yeah,
Why not?
Joe and
Name
Bill.
a dog Bill?
Why not?
Wait, at
Okay,
the
here's
renter
the thing.
yesterday, there was a horse named Bob.
That makes more sense.
I miss Bob.
He was a good horse.
Yeah, he was really cute.
See, here's the thing. The naming
Oh,
conventions
and then
for
Jasmine.
dogs...
There was a horse named Jasmine. She
That-
was really pretty.
Okay, that's a real horse. Ethan, yes.
Sorry.
The naming conventions for dogs and cats are very different. Because, like, you can name a dog specific human name, right? You can name a cat anything you want.
Yeah, that's why my
And
cat.
any noun, and it would make sense. Like, Abby's cat named after a type of pasta, and it
Orzo.
makes sense. Yeah. Orzo. We love him.
Archimicris.
Charlie's cat is named after a fictional character. Sure.
I would
It makes sense.
I would never get a cat, but I've always told myself jokingly if I did, I would name it something like stereotypical dog name, like this is my cat Fido. Just to
See,
screw
and
with
it
people.
works. And it
one,
works.
one of my aunt's friends had two cats, and their names were Pork Chop and Tater Tot, and they called them Chop and Tot.
That's exactly what I mean. Like, you can name a cat after any noun, and it makes sense. Like, this is my cat, Toaster.
Yeah.
Why did earlier I was thinking toaster in my head?
What if I wanted to name a dog Toast?
I think you could do that.
You could do that.
I think you could rename, like, obviously you wouldn't rename Bella because, like, she's Bella, but, like, I think that you could have named her, like, I don't know, Peach Tree or, like...
Okay, but yeah, but for toaster, if you're naming a dog Toaster, that's like a pug because it's gonna be like squat, so it like looks like a toaster.
Yes.
I
the
know
more
somebody-
cat adjacent a dog is, the more I think that's okay. Like pugs, chihuahuas.
Well, because also you get to that
Yorkies.
size, they're not dogs anymore. Like you get to a certain size, and a dog is
Yeah.
just a rat.
Well, I know somebody who had a wiener dog named Frank.
Okay, that's a wiener dog. Of course you're
Right.
gonna name a
Yeah,
Frank.
that's a wiener dog. You're gonna name it Frank. Like,
Of course,
You could
'cause
name
it's a
a
Frankfurter.
actually, my ex's mom wanted to get two dachshunds and name them Frank and Beans.
Good.
Wait, Charlie. Which your uncle's dog? What are your uncle's dogs' names?
Oh God, don't even ask me. They're named after like alcohols.
And then
Oh.
they
Like
have-
whiskey and tequila or something.
No, like they sound like normal
like
names.
the brands, like a Jameson and something.
Yeah,
like that.
it's
Oh.
one is Jameson. I can't remember what the other.
But then they have,
but
don't they have confirmation names.
They have first names, they have middle names, and then my grandmother gave them confirmation names because they
I
are
didn't know dogs could be Catholic.
Because all of my uncle's dogs, these are now his third and fourth dogs. The other two passed away a few years ago, but they're always my grandmother's grand dogs. So
she takes that seriously.
She does. Okay. She takes it very seriously, which is why Archie is her great grandcat. So
cute. Oh, lovely.
See, my mom would never do that. like to her, Bella is just a dog. She's not like her grand dog because my mom thinks she's too young to be a grandma.
Well, my mom hates cats. So Archie is just the thing that lives in my apartment that does not let her visit me now. So
why does your mom hate cats? What does she have
against them? She's allergic to them. But guess what? She's allergic to dogs too, and she doesn't hate dogs. So I call her on that bullshit, and she's just like, well...
She's just prejudiced against cats and refuses to admit it because she just is.
People who don't like cats have issues. I'm going to say that right now. Because a cat will only let you love on them when they want to be loved on. They'll only interact with you if they want. And if they don't want to, that's not your problem.
Right. Consent and boundaries are very important.
So moving on from the dogs again. Yeah, I because I am realizing the four of us. It is going a lot fast. Slower than I was expecting.
That's my fault. I'm sorry.
No, it's gonna keep happening. Don't worry about it. There's gonna be more things.
Games are a very important tangent. Okay,
they really are. So we've met our Igor. That's literally what I thought when I first saw him. I'm like, why is Igor here? This is not fair. Frankenstein. What is going on?
I was like, it's No Neck. Because he has no neck. So that was my nickname for him.
There you go.
That works
But he literally is like the Igor to Dr. Coffin's Frankenstein, apparently, because he was his assistant.
Dr. Coffins, that is a man I trust with my family with the disease. Granted, it's incurable disease, so it's kind of fitting, but...
That is like the most ridiculous name they've had, I swear. Dr. Coffin. Why?
It's real morbid.
It seriously is.
He went into the right line of work.
I mean, if he was a mortician...
That would be better.
But again, he's at least dealing with a situation where it's like incurable disease, so like... most of his patients are probably going to die.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, so he explains, the ghost of Dr. Coffin. He's here, everything. The entire time, Shaggy keeps calling this man Dr. Gooseberry, because he cannot remember his name. It's hilarious to me. And he tries to run away. Him and Scooby try to run off, until Tewksbury is like, food? Would you like some food? There's dinner.
Okay. They'd willingly eat hospital food?
Okay, that was some really good looking hospital food. Granted, it doesn't seem like that was like for the patients. That looks like Tewksbury's personal dinner, which was quite a large dinner for just him.
It doesn't look... well, the table's set for multiple people.
But again, like, the thing is, like, he said most of the patients are gone.
Yeah, they disappear.
Like, he's clearly said that mostly for himself. So I'm like...
it's for him and whoever else works with him, presumably, but we don't see anybody else.
Guys?
I guess they'd be the two ambulance guys.
It's for him and the ambulance guys.
I guess.
Still, I count 10, I guess, pork chops?
Some form of miscellaneous meat?
Yeah. Something like that.
And then, I guess, mashed potatoes and olives and celery?
Again,
sure.
The food in most of Scooby-Doo is not very well described besides, like, the meat/sandwiches.
Maybe he was making it and he was meal prepping for the week. Maybe he's really busy with the patients that vanished.
And you just leave your meal prep out on the table?
Out in the open?
Listen, I don't know.
He's letting it cool for a little bit, okay?
Yeah, before that's good food safety.
Because if you put it immediately in a container after it's cooked, it's going to seal itself, right?
And the moisture will produce mold. I know that. I am in medicine.
There you go. He knows this too, clearly, because he's also in medicine. There we go.
Yep.
Scooby steals Shaggy's food, as Scooby tends to do.
Of course.
Mark that off on the bingo card.
And so he's talking more about how more of his patients are vanishing and everything. Now Dr. Coffin's returned from the grave. Daphne's like, oh my god, what if he wants us next? but they can't leave because there's a storm. So
Also, there's no guarantee the beds they're sleeping in were not previously occupied by dead people with incurable
I
diseases.
am not thinking about that. Like, yeah, like how recently were those beds, freed
how
up?
well can you sanitize those beds? That's my question.
This is 1976. They have technology to sterilize things.
I would
just-
hope that they're fairly well, because obviously it sounds like there's been less patients, so I'm assuming Tewksbury's had some time. I would
Listen,
hope.
Hopefully.
I'm seeing this room and I'm seeing the amount of cracks and broken things on the wall, and I'm just like, are they really cleaning all of this? Are they?
Again, my more thing is the fact that Scooby gets his own bed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
doesn't
is
make sense to
interesting.
me.
So we'll see
I'm-
later. I have comments
I'm-
about something later, but
I'm wondering why Shaggy and Fred aren't sharing a bed too, honestly, because they have. So
oh, that's what. Like, I know we're not on video, but I would have shown you when we later see Daphne and Velma sleeping in the same bed, and my literal one note is literally just no heterosexual explanation.
lesbians.
There's not.
If they were on camera, I would have showed you that on my notes, but yeah.
There's no
Uh,
heterosexual explanation for anything happening.
No, this is a polycule, obviously.
And
Yes,
He
Scooby is
exists.
he's just the guy in the polycule who's just existing in the corner. So Dr. Coffin, he's in the window and he's spooking them. He sure is. And then he disappears in a flash of lightning.
yeah, I was like, is the lightning trolling him? Is the lightning like making him go away? I was like, what is it with him in the light? And then what's up with him in the light?
Somewhat. I don't.
Kind of.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Still very unclear on that whole thing. Kayla and I had a discussion last night. We were trying to parse through the logic there.
What logic?
Okay, well, I guess
Right,
let's go.
yeah.
Let's go to what we're talking. So after Scooby gets out of bed and jumps onto a moose head that just happens to be on the wall in a sanitarium.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. This is another shenanigan because
Correct.
the moose head, he's hanging off of the antler and it opens a secret door. Check it off on your bingo card. We accidentally found a secret door.
Why?
No way. And then in this room, there is a giant mirror that scares Scooby. Scooby jumps on Shaggy's shoulders. I think that should also be counted as shenanigans.
Yeah.
The giant,
Giant mirror.
and
It's just here.
then they look for a light switch, and Shaggy flips one, and it just opens the entire roof.
Yeah, because that's what you want the thing that opens your roof to be.
It's just a thing that just could easily be mistaken for a light switch. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the light switch is one of those like giant, big panel things instead that should be the thing that opens up the ceiling, but they swapped it by accident.
Yep.
They got it wrong.
They now the big lever turns on the lights.
Exactly.
Of course.
So the moon shines a moonbeam down on the mirror, which shines its again onto Scooby, burning Scooby with moonbeams.
It looks like it's burning straight into his asshole.
It does.
Yeah.
This is not how the moon works. The moon reflects the sun's light. It does not create its own light. This would not.
Moonbeams aren't hot.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't think so. Shenaniganery. Scooby has
counted
to get
it.
Scooby has to get a bucket of water for his ass.
But yeah, and then we see that the beams are meant to be for the sun to go to a solar furnace.
But the solar furnace still works with the moon,
Again,
apparently.
okay. The other thing with this whole setup is that obviously the light switch to open the roof clearly had to exist before the ghost, which makes me wonder, what was Dr. Coffin needing this giant, opening roof for? What purpose did that serve the doctor in his regular sanitarium work?
Yes.
Maybe he was one of those people who thought fresh air cured tuberculosis.
Take him out on the porch!
They are in the middle of the freaking woods.
There are so many other
Yeah.
options.
This guy's insane, clearly. So
Yeah, the more we get in, we'll see more later in the episode, but I'm like, beyond this actual mystery, it feels like the original Dr. Coffin does not seem like he was fully on the up and up.
no. Which is why it's so
No.
easy to dress up as him and be
His medical license definitely needs.
Well, he's dead, so.
Well, right, but he's still stirring shit up.
The Canadian Medical Department needs to posthumously remove his medical license.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know
So we
if
have
you
to call
can
him
do that.
Mr. Coffin instead.
The they scratch out his gravestone and fix that.
They
Yeah.
scratch with a D with an M.
It's really weird. Yeah, it does not look good.
So he appears in the mirror and scares the guys, so they have to run away.
And then that's when we find the girls sleeping in the same bed.
Okay.
Also, Velma is wearing curlers? Have we seen that before?
And they're not like they're like very weirdly looking curlers. I mean,
I can't remember if we've seen it before, but it's definitely something I remember Velma does when she sleeps sometimes. So I'm not surprised by it, but I can't remember if it's happened in an episode before this.
Second, why are you curling a bob? There's no point.
Don't worry about
so they
it.
wanted the visual imagery.
I think you should chat with her about that, Ethan.
I should.
Velma.
Yeah,
It-
Ethan,
it-
I think
it-
we need to figure out what Velma's
I'll have to do
hairstyle
some-
really is.
I'll have to do some self-discovery about that.
Yeah. I don't know. Can you fit some curlers in your hair?
I think on the top of my head I'll be able to do that.
Yeah, maybe
I don't know
like
how
front
short
fluff.
it is, but
It's
I mean,
not
I got my
short, but
haircut
not
about
long.
a month ago, but I could do it.
well,
I-
you have a girlfriend who I'm sure would be thrilled to.
I'm sure Kelly would love to try to curl my hair.
My
I don't know if her curling iron's small enough to deal with that. We'll
Um,
see.
But yeah, so they wake
I
the girls
did-
up.
Makeup and nail polish while she's at it.
I actually do enjoy painting my nails. I just don't do it a whole lot because I don't really like having long nails. So
Oh, I hate long nails.
Also very gay. So the girls notice that they're loading people into the ambulance, but the patients are kind of not responsive, not moving.
I mean, they didn't seem very responsive when they were coming in either.
It's
Also, like,
true.
dead patients in a hospital is not that's not abnormal, especially like this
Yeah.
kind of place. Like, that's why I'm like, that's not weird.
Okay,
dead
but also in the
patients
middle of the
coming
night, I feel
into
like you
a
can wait till the
hospital?
morning.
I mean, sorry, what did you say, Ethan?
Is dead patients coming into a hospital something that happens?
I mean, potentially, because paramedics can't declare them dead. So, like,
Yeah.
if somebody dies en route or dies, like, in their home, a doctor has to pronounce them dead because there are certain, like, things that have to be done. So they would be, like, processed generally, like, in a hospital and then, like, brought to the morgue. And sometimes hospitals have morgues either in them or they're being brought to, like, a funeral home or something. But generally, that's, like, kind of organized with the hospital because they're crossing their teeth and dotting their I's to, like, yes, this patient is in fact dead. There's nothing else. This is the cause of death. They're potentially drawing blood if they think, and running tests if they think that there was some like foul play or something like that. I mean, in this case, it's probably just that they, died of tuberculosis or something like that. But or if somebody dies, en route to the hospital, the paramedics can't pronounce them dead. Only doctors can actually do that. So
If the person is dead, if the person's dead on the site, can the paramedic pronounce them dead if they haven't brought them anywhere?
I don't entirely know. In that case, they might bring them directly to the morgue, in which case generally there's like a medical examiner which has a medical degree. If it's like very obvious that they're dead, and then that person could pronounce them dead if they see like no signs of breathing. But
yeah, I'm just thinking of another episode of TV that I've seen
Oh,
where
yeah.
like the paramedics came and they were like, we can't like, there's no breath, we can't bring her back to life, we gotta call it. And then like somebody came with a bag later on.
Yeah, there's a level of like, do no harm. We're not gonna, get this patient back, and we're not gonna put them through, extraordinary measures when we know there's nothing, because there's no heartbeat, there's no breath, there's no signs of life, especially if like, the skin is pale and cold, rigor mortis is starting to set in. Then the paramedics would just transport to, wherever is most appropriate based on, the local hospital, more regulations like at that time of like what. So yeah. But doctors are generally the ones who are going to pronounce that somebody dead and the cause of death.
This has been more education by Abby, the future doctor.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's, it's like, when there's, sometimes it's really obvious, right? But
So, like, this is not something for them to be suspicious about.
yeah.
But it is weird that it's in the middle of the night, I guess. But
Yeah, I think you could wait till like morning to take the dead bodies out.
Out of the hospital, yeah. If they were coming to the hospital, that's not weird.
yeah, so I guess the time of night is weird. So they're like, let's follow, because the boys have arrived in the girls' room to be like, weird shit's going on. And now we all drive in the mystery machine. We're following, not very closely behind, because, they weren't very prepared. And there's a bridge out there. But if the ambulance made it across on this road, clearly they could make it, right?
Okay. When they showed like the close up of like the pedals of the mystery machine when he said the bridge out, I was like so wanting Fred to try and floor it.
Right? I was just like, Fred can make that.
No, but instead he just stops on this like teetering bridge, like the edge of the bridge. And I'm like, that feels safe in the van.
There's no bridge across Niagara Falls. People who try to go across Niagara Falls in barrels or whatever end up dead.
Okay, but also again, it said this is near Niagara Falls because this is probably potentially some other waterfall near it.
No, it's Niagara Falls.
I guess they do say later on.
It looks like the fall, like based on the circular structure.
Yeah.
But again, this was 1976. Things have changed.
Dr. Coffin is laughing maniacally with the lightning behind him on a ledge, once again disappearing with the lightning.
He's just standing there, menacingly.
Very, yeah.
Menacing is a crime.
Menacing is a crime. That is true.
My favorite crime.
What does this dude do when there's not like a storm of like, he can't do his theatrics without a storm?
Clearly,
that's when he makes the storm.
This specific area by the falls, there's always a storm. Clearly.
This is the guy doing the weather controlling.
Exactly. Abby, is it true are there a lot of storms in this general area?
Not a lot. Like,
she's not a meteorologist, guys.
No.
Yeah.
I'm saying that because her grandparents live close to here,
and
so
I
she's
lived
been there.
half an hour away. There's not like an insane amount of like, especially like lightning and thunder. It's like, yeah, in the same way that like there's kind of always a humidity in the air when you're like by the beach because you're by a lot of water. There's humidity in the air and like kind of, especially because like, the water's coming down and then it's like spraying up. But there's not like thunder, lightning craziness.
Okay.
But yeah, they see nothing, so they just back off the broken bridge and head back.
As one does, okay? It's time to go back to bed.
Honestly, I'm shocked that Fred didn't get lost on his way back.
Yeah. Well, he can find his way to the scary places, not the normal places, clearly.
He does love traps.
Scooby's got on this cute little sleeping cap. Very Scrooge.
Yeah, the most Ebenezer Scrooge-ass sleeping arrangement.
Okay.
Which,
the other thing about this, how many times throughout this episode does the gang like take on and off their pajamas?
Several.
Don't worry about it. How many times does Velma take on and off those curlers?
Well, granted, like it's also like I love how like their outfits like, like the girls clearly are completely different outfits. Shaggy just changes his shirt color, and then Fred looks like he's wearing the whatever like jumpsuit type thing he has underneath his white shirt. Still,
I think
He's
Fred,
a giant collar.
when in his clothes, like shoes and all, because he's ready to get up at a moment's notice, right?
That honestly would be fair. We see Shaggy out of bed with like in the different color shirt, but Fred always sees under the blankets with the giant collar, so he could be wearing his.
And Scooby's just like, my head is cold, so I get hats.
But yeah, then the girls are just a completely different outfit.
Yeah, because they're always prepared. We gotta have a costume. Our Dr. Coffin is playing on the organ, and somehow opens up the dog's cage. Don't know how. Shenanigans, maybe? More shenanigans.
This is where shenanigans get. This is where a lot more shenanigans happen.
Oh, most certainly in this scene.
We have the dogs who begin to dance on their hind legs with each other. And then like, Scooby.
This is a really impressive waltz. I was like, are they going to be competing for the mirror ball in the next season of Dancing with the Stars? Like, Dang.
I mean,
Okay, but they can't compete
Right?
together, so they'd be competing against each other.
Oh, that's very true.
Also, are these the stars or are these the pros?
The stars.
Scooby
Obviously.
is the star.
Yeah.
No, Scooby's
is
the
true.
star. They're the
He
pros.
was doing really good.
I guess that would make sense that they're one of the pros because they've been classically trained by the doctor. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Scooby joins the dance. I think that's a separate shenanigan because he's
It is.
now been in this trance.
Yeah,
Somehow, I want to know how that works since he's not like.
Like the doctor clearly did training with the dogs, so it's not just a natural, innate thing in dogs.
Unless
Yeah.
somehow his organ does this weird sound thing that only animals, specifically dogs, can respond to.
I guess
Type of thing, but they don't explain that.
no, they just say he
Yeah.
did training with them, which makes it weird.
Okay,
Yeah.
Fred is actually wearing some kind of pajamas. I didn't even notice that.
But okay, I think but it looks like his pajamas could just be what's underneath his white shirt.
Could.
Yeah.
I could. All right. The
So,
gang
like-
wakes up.
Shaggy
And-
specifically is like, Scooby's not here.
You know, that's his guy. That's his dog. He's got to worry about him. So they all got to go and find Scooby and the dogs. And they're like, "Oh my god, Scooby's in a trance. Scooby, wake up."
Immediately
And
snaps out.
that works.
Well, because it's Shaggy, really. It's the true love between Scooby and Shaggy that breaks the
Exactly.
true love breaks the
Mhm,
curse
mhm.
every time.
Every
I mean, if they'd both somehow been under a spell, as we learned last episode when they also got hypnotized, the answer is wake them up with Scooby snacks. So
Yep.
I too would wake up for Scooby snacks.
there you go.
well, you are our Scooby.
That is fair.
Yeah.
So even though I do have the ability to give Scooby snacks, I've yet to do that. I do need to figure out how to do that more.
You should do that more often.
I don't know the time because I've never played like a bard or someone who can give inspiration, so I don't know like when to do that.
I mean, you're not necessarily a bard, but this
But
is your
I'm saying
way.
the bard is the character that normally has that type of power.
Yeah, and I figured I should give it to the ranger. I felt like that made sense.
Yeah.
So
Well, it
It's
made sense for
her
this
good
context.
berry.
It made more sense because Daphne is the one that normally has the Scooby snacks. Actually, it's a mix of her and Velma, but
Yeah.
yeah,
depending on the series. But yeah, so
Ugh.
they wake Scooby up.
and the dogs get sicked on them. We split up into our scared gang versus smart gang, and Scooby and Shaggy hide away in this locked room with wigs.
Just a giant pile of wigs that Scooby falls into and comes out posing like a model.
I think he
Scooby-Doo.
looks fabulous.
Like, what in the Trixie Mattel is going on here with this wig?
Yeah.
The pose he comes out with is just like you had that prepared, Scooby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My favorite thing here is that the rest of the gang also ends up in the
Runs
same
the
room.
opposite direction, but ends in the same room.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. My thing here is that when Fred enters the room and he sees Scooby in a wig, he's like, "Oh, sorry, ma'am." And listen, this is just like the live action movie. Where
Where do you think James
Shaggy-
Gunn got the idea for this?
Shaggy introduces, say hello to Grandma, and Fred's like, "Who's the old broad?"
But yeah, the way that how limited the animation was, that the other gang went in a different door facing the other direction, but then when they come into the room, the door is like still the same side that Scooby and Shaggy came on. Like, at
It
least if
is.
they had like a second door on the other side, I
Listen.
can imagine that there was some like giant looping hallway.
Hospitals are really
But not confusing enough that you enter a door one way and then you're
Right.
facing
Yeah.
the same way when you
Yes.
come through the other side.
Yes. I don't know that we should call them. I don't know that you should call them the smart gang, just the not scared gang.
Listen, the smart gang has Daphne and Velma on it, and
Let's say even with
Fred's
even
got
with
something
Fred-
sometimes.
I was gonna say even with Fred, I mean, I felt Velma's obviously heavy carrying, but still they're
Yes.
combined. Their average IQ is much higher than Scooby and Shaggy's, even probably combined.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, the
They're
average of the
a
smart-
plus versus a negative.
Yeah,
So,
the average of the smart gang is more than Scooby and Shaggy combined.
exactly. I am particularly mad about the fact that these wigs are just on the floor.
Yeah,
Who's
just
taking
loose.
care of them? Excuse me? They should be in
They're-
like bags or like on mannequins or
But then
like
I don't think these people are very caring because as we will learn later, it's not like they're meant to be
Clearly.
kept in good care.
they're just shoved in a corner.
But yeah, then I also love after that when Fred's just like, well, we'll figure this out, like how this is all coming together. When I'm watching that, I really would have loved it. And like, no, it just turns out that's just a random pile of wigs. It had nothing to do with the mystery. Just there.
Sometimes that does happen. So,
But I specifically thought because of how he phrases, like, oh, we'll figure out how this lines up.
yeah. Scooby and Shaggy walk into one of the labs, I guess. Shaggy breaks a test tube, and they're like, what is this lab? What's going on here? There's like an old phonograph type thing, record player, and these chairs with some interesting stuff going on.
Oh yeah, when the ghost comes in and the lights come. This is again where I really get the point of like Dr. Coffin clearly wasn't on the up and up of like, what experiments were you doing on these people that were like terminally ill, and like they're not ones that are going to be able to give consent to these experiments.
I mean,
No.
Historically, that's what happened.
I guess yeah. It's what the 70s was still probably in a time where that was not super against.
Not using leeches.
And there's something to be said for like in just doing research and knowing about there's when you're terminally ill, there's no like there's no other option necessarily, no other treatment option get better. So it's like the options of like, this might help you.
If we screw with your brain, who
it
knows?
might make you worse, but there is a potential benefit there, but there's not necessarily like other alternatives. So like obviously now we know differently, and we know like a little bit more, especially about risks to various things, but that I think that was kind of some of the logic.
But I'd still say like
for those old experiments, which is not none of them, there were a lot of them that were not okay, but that was logic.
But yeah, I'd still think that kind of quack of saying, oh, let's try test your brainwaves to see if that fixed the tuberculosis in your lungs.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it's not okay, but that was.
And this is some like alien looking machine.
Oh yeah,
like what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, there's some weird lights spinning above them in these two like very plastic looking like stadium chairs.
Like you play the phonograph and then it does some weird electricity thing between these things. They run away as soon as Dr. Coffin turns it on. They're like, nope, let's go into the x-ray room instead and hide in the x-ray machine.
It wasn't on when they went in there.
No.
True.
Dr. Coffin does immediately turn it on.
And that's not what an x-ray machine looks like. And that's not what x-rays look like.
That's why it's a shenanigan.
But it is a shenanigan, Abby.
Well, I know, but I just was like,
it is how x-rays work in cartoons.
None of that's accurate at all. But
it doesn't.
You were also annoyed last night specifically about the food it showed in them. Specifically,
I was like, it would show bones. It would not show the food. And
it would show that one bone, right?
No, it wouldn't.
Well,
it wouldn't.
Abby hated it because Scooby didn't eat any bones that night. He ate like the meat. He didn't have a bone. So that was what she was annoyed about last night too.
The bone wouldn't go in that direction.
It's settled.
True.
Well, it seems like it was a bone he ate. At least that's the presumption they're making.
Yeah, it's settled.
Either way, both of them
down, but in his stomach.
Both of them
unhinged his jaw like
these things whole to have them perfectly preserved in their stomachs, like
both Scooby and Shaggy are part snake.
Yeah,
correct.
And
they do
there's no digestion, and they're just sitting down.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then they go off running.
Yeah, Shaggy hitches a ride with a skeleton that's on wheels. Dr. Coffin chases him. Scooby is like, I gotta get Shaggy, and then they come back the other way. Little bit of Doors gag there for you, Ethan.
I appreciated that very much.
Yeah. We end up in a room of uniforms, and
which always means shenanigans.
One of my favorite gags is when we do the costumes. Shaggy is like dressed up as a doctor, and he brings out a tongue depressor and starts trying to treat Dr. Coffin. It's like, you ought to see a doctor. Scooby's also dressed like a nurse, and is great. It's wonderful.
That's fantastic.
It's sad that he didn't have one of the wigs on when he was the nurse.
True.
I know, right? The wig he was wearing earlier would have been great. Very like 60s hospitals, at least in movies I've seen.
It's just like some soap opera style looking nurse.
Yeah.
Dr. Coffin rips the outfits off as they're running away.
So
And
cleanly.
he very cleanly, until he has to rip off Shaggy's glove, apparently, he's trying to grab at him.
Stuck.
And it makes him fly backwards. I think that's another shenanigan.
It is.
And then next, Shaggy and Scooby put a do not disturb sign on the door. Amazing.
And they thought it was going to work.
They did. Again, I think that's a shenanigan. But
It is.
another one. Because it does not stop here. It just keeps happening. They're behind like a fold, like one of those dividers, so they can get changed.
That was so ridiculous. That was
They
funny.
keep folding it in different directions as Dr. Coffin's trying to like unfold it to reveal them, and then they run around it. They're all running around it, and then we have to have a gimmick with a hospital bed. It had to happen. We're in a hospital.
Yep.
So I'm so glad it finally happened. I thought this was going to be like the final trap or something, was a hospital bed. It was not.
Yeah.
If it didn't leave the hospital for the final thing, it probably would have been.
Yeah. Really. All three of them are just like under the covers.
I was like, oh, okay.
Something's happening under the covers there with all three of them. Shaggy and Scooby jump out, and Scooby accidentally presses the button, trapping Dr. Coffin in the mattress.
Just sandwiching him between both sides of the mattress.
Somehow this man does not die.
I mean, mattresses aren't exactly hard.
He could suffocate.
That's true.
He's a ghost.
True.
Presumably.
Ghosts don't need air.
They are air.
And now, Smart Gang ends up in the morgue? Question mark?
Yeah.
That's what it appears
That's
to
what
be.
they said it was.
But Fred, the weirdo that he is just like, I'm gonna look underneath.
That's true. That's like a dead body.
That could just be a dead person, and they're always naked.
A dead
So,
person
like,
in a hospital for the
bro.
terminally ill.
Bro,
So someone
Yeah.
that's
That
clearly
is like-
very diseased.
that's so weird of you to do, Fred. And he's smiling the whole way. But thankfully, he was correct in doing so, because underneath the blankets are just a bunch of gold bars.
Yep.
And where the head is actually just a wig. So it's not a person.
Wait, gold bars
Okay.
aren't people?
No. Sadly.
Shoot.
And I was looking at that gold and I was like, wow, that'll probably like one part. And I was like, wow, that probably looks like the amount of gold that you could get from like a Billy bookcase from IKEA sized.
The only people that will get that are us.
5%. Ethan made a mistake with D&D, thinking that we weren't going to figure out exactly how much gold.
He gave us a big chunk of gold. He said it was the size of a bookshelf. He's specifically allowed to be his bookshelf.
And
So that we could get the measurements too.
And then I was looking up things, and there was regret building in his eyes,
We're-
and we just kept going.
We're getting
And
like
there was math gravity and such.
we're getting
so much
Yes.
stuff.
a asinine amount of gold if we do eventually able to get to retrieve that.
Yeah, it's like 64,000 each, something like that.
Yes.
So we'll see if that ends up happening. Stay tuned.
The
Listen, we
Ethan's
don't even
face
have
that
to
night
worry
was just
about-
it slowly got less and less.
We don't even have to actually, do the thing. We don't have to do our adventure. We just have to wait out until we get the gold from this.
For some of you.
For some.
But yeah, so they find the gold.
Yeah, they do. And they're like, oh, somebody's coming. We gotta hide. And it's Shaggy and Scooby. And they're like, oh shit, we gotta hide too, because the ambulance guys are coming. They hide under some empty sheets. And clearly, the guys coming in are very stupid, because they pick the lumpy ones that are actually people, or a person and a dog, instead of the ones that look more like gold bars with wigs on them. Bro?
I mean, if they think that they're all gold, like, they're probably not paying that much attention.
This is also like what? Probably 3 a.m.
Yeah, nobody's brain is functioning well at 3 a.m.
I'm just saying, that there are some nosy kids in here, and you
Also,
pick
since
the lumpy ones.
that's also since they've already chased the ambulance once that night. That implies these guys are doing this like multiple times a night. So they're not clearly in a good headspace.
Fair enough. So Scooby and Shaggy are put into the ambulance. They're, kind of kidnapped here by these 3 men, including Dr. Coffin. And now, Fred, Daphne, and Velma are like, okay, we have to follow very closely behind this time.
But the light's
They
out.
won't.
That'll
Yeah.
stop them from noticing us.
They won't
Look,
see us.
There's no street lights.
No headlights.
If there's no street lights, it would be pretty hard for them to see that.
But it's a pretty large van. There's also one shot where it literally shows them basically like directly behind them. Like
even beside them, I think.
Yeah, I think it merges the S. I'm like, I don't know how you're hiding from them.
You do have a brightly colored van.
Like, yeah, even
So
in the dark, those colors are meant to be seen.
Yeah. Is a little bit of shenaniganery here. Also, Fred, you're gonna be running something over in that darkness. Or like missing the road somehow in that darkness.
I mean, if you're following the taillights of the other vehicle, hopefully you have some direction.
That's
you never
what I
know.
presume is happening.
If they turn on a dime, you gotta be careful. And then we have our cave opening. Wonderful.
Yeah.
I love when this happens. I love when the villains have secret hideout. Only they can open it. And the gang has to secretly follow them behind to get in. And now they're trapped.
And yeah, they make it at the last second.
And
then when they get in the cave, they turn on the headlights again.
Well, at this point, it's not like they can get away from them.
Fair.
Yeah.
But this cave does clearly go between the Canadian and American sides of the falls. Huh. Secret place?
Secret tunnel.
And definitely some illegal activity going across the border.
Just a little bit.
Listen,
Scooby,
if you do it underground, it doesn't count as illegal. It's
The laws in
Sure.
1976 didn't figure out underground border laws.
Ethan, I'm gonna make sure to take that quote of yours out of context forever now.
okay.
If it's underground, it's not illegal. Clearly. A lot of things you can do underground then.
Hades getting Persephone.
That happened above ground, Ethan.
Yeah, but he opened up like a big hole in the ground to make it happen.
I think he crossed the border there. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Now, Scooby looks up front to see who is driving, and he sees Dr. Coffin. So they are very scared.
I think this was before they entered the cave, but regardless, yes.
Yeah.
And so our smart gang is like, okay, we gotta get Scooby and Shaggy. Oh look, all of the gold bars are right here.
And glowing like they're radioactive.
Yes. Yes, they are. And
But
they're
then
being packaged like in bread boxes.
Another thing, how do you you have your underground cavern, but then you have a bread packager in there.
This is
Where's
quite
the ventilation?
This is quite a sizable operation.
Clearly,
I love
it's
it.
been up.
That is some bread there that they got, though. You know?
Hey.
They got the bread.
Scooby and Shaggy are found out very quickly by these guys. Oh no!
Jump into a random minecart.
So then the henchmen and Dr. Coffin get in behind them, and I'm like, that is so stupid. Why would you get in the cart?
Well, you gotta follow them.
Right, but they know where the cart leads, right? Presumably because they're the one doing that. They know where the cart leads.
I mean, we don't know. The carts don't
Might
seem
not.
It don't seem crucial to their operation. It could have been that this cave was there previously, assumably.
It was like an old mine.
Which
An old
make-
mine.
Got
Yeah.
it.
So
yeah,
I'd
they
be
probably
really,
don't know about
so I'd
it.
have real interesting questions about how a mine that went between the borders of Canada and US worked for mining rights.
It's a great question.
True enough. Either way, it's a little bit of shenanigans here because,
They go up a hill, and then they start going back down because they don't have no propulsion.
Yep.
Whenever physics is being chosen to apply,
Then the villains see them coming and turn around. By getting out, they're pushing their cart instead of just, running to the sides to get away. No, they gotta push their cart the opposite direction.
obvious.
Yeah, obviously. That's how it works.
Perfectly logical.
They get bumped by Scooby and Shaggy as they get to the end, and they fly out of the minecart onto the bread wrapping machine, and they all get wrapped in bread. I love traps like this.
Then so Scooby and Shaggy also go flying. Why did they not land on the conveyor belt? Where did they
I
land?
thought that was going to happen too, honestly.
Yeah, I
I thought they were all going to be wrapped in bread. And then Fred's like, there's only one person this could be. We all think it's Dr. Tewksbury, obviously. No, it's Officer Oldfield.
The
What?
guy you don't, not the obvious answer, but the only other character that we've seen in the show.
In Scooby-Doo, I would never expect it.
No way. So we have to explain what happened. He stole somebody's identity, or just like faked it or whatever.
Fake being a cop. Yeah.
Yeah, fake being a
They're
cop.
back at the sanitarium with an actual proper Mountie explaining what's going on to them.
Yeah.
And
Also, Scooby's eating an apple and
yeah,
arguing with a
Fred's
worm.
explaining what happened, and I watched this and I'm looking at this. It's just that Scooby eats an apple and a worm just like pops out and eats the rest of the apple. And my only belief is this was basically 1970s Subway Surfers, because they assumed it would be too boring to just have a shot of Fred explaining this, because it is quite the explanation of what was going on.
It's like the fidget or the ADHDers.
Yeah.
But
it is.
that they were part of the gold robbery that then was transferring across the border. But this is, I think, where me and Abby get so many questions of like, we get why they did like the sanitarium, because the ambulance was a bit inconspicuous of a vehicle to transport their stolen goods.
Yeah.
But the fact that they need the solar furnace to melt them into bars, because mostly if I feel if you have a gold safe, it's going to be in bars. Are we implying that they like stole it in like cartoon sacks of gold coins that they had to melt down? Like, I feel like they'd be in bars already. You don't need the solar furnace.
Yeah, I buy that. I don't know.
So like, I have to imagine that there was in coins and they turned into bars. So like that, I guess makes sense. But so I guess the sanitarium it made sense for the things. But then also question, how did they get like into the sanitarium to like think? So did the two ambulance guys just have to apply to go to Tewksbury and apply for jobs as ambulance drivers, and then they got the job, and then they were able to sneak in?
Found them and was like, "Hey, do you want to make some more money? Actually, you want to help me out with this?" And
it's just like how they got into the sanitarium. I was like, okay, you clearly had to apply for jobs to make this heist work.
And also, the Dr. Tewksbury is so terrible of a doctor that he doesn't realize that there's no patients in this place, and then he's literally just there.
He's just there and eating his dinners.
Dr. Coffin probably should lose his medical license for malpractice. Tewksbury should be losing it for incompetence.
And negligence.
Yeah.
Because he's like,
I lost my patients. They were gold.
Right, because like clearly the ambulance driver, he knows the ambulance drivers are like taking and bringing patients, but he's never seeing any of them.
No.
Yeah.
And so he thinks Dr. Coffin is a ghost and is dead. So like, what?
I think this is now. Yes.
Presumably, the actual Dr. Coffin that did start this sanitarium is dead.
Well, yes, that is clear. Mm-hmm. I also wonder how long he's been dead. Of like, it was like, because that might make sense. Like, maybe it it's lost patients. Like, less people came to it over time or something. That made it easy. But yeah, there's just so many questions about like the logistics of how this scheme started. It's not like someone like normally it's someone like owns the property in Scooby-Doo, so like it makes sense of how they got into the premise. But like you just happen to find the sanitarium that has like the perfect roof environment for you. I'm like, you just lucked into this.
And there's no one else.
This building is now just a mental facility just for Dr. Tewksbury, who has no idea what's actually going on anymore, because he thinks there's people coming in. There's no people. Those are gold bars. Those are gold bars. They're not patients.
They're gold coins that come out of gold bars, assumably.
That's true. So, like, this poor man is just, like, here, and he's like, yeah, I'm taking care of my patients. Oh, look, they're all so shiny. This poor man has no idea what's going on whatsoever. Maybe he's not a doctor. Maybe he's not a doctor.
Maybe he's, like, an old person who has, like, to be a doctor. I don't know.
He was part of Dr. Coffin's brain experiments.
Yeah.
Yes. There you go. Dr. Coffin experimented on his protege, and now this is what's wrong with him now. Oops, some malpractice.
What a crazy guy! Truly a terrible, truly a bad villain. And bad in the word, bad in terms of like he's done so many terrible things. Yeah. Good in terms of like good to watch, compelling. Yeah.
Very interesting. Tewksbury was sleeping during this whole thing, apparently.
Yep.
Oh, of course.
Of course you do.
And he's just like, hey, guys, keep it down. I'm trying to sleep. Leave me alone. And the gang is leaving. And they're like, you know what? Most importantly, what we've learned, based on this mystery, is that Scooby can dance. And him and Daphne do some cute little dances. I love this animation.
That it was nice.
And then the doggies want to dance too, and Scooby's like, "No, you're scary."
I mean, they are scary looking dogs.
They did also try to kill him
Yeah.
several times.
It ends with Scooby running off into the sunset.
Presumably, it's a sunrise.
Presumably.
Rise.
And that's the end of the episode. Ethan, what time is it?
It's terror time.
Let's do some trivia, my friend. A sanatorium was a medical facility for long-term illness such as tuberculosis before antibiotics. The word was also used as a socially acceptable term for psychiatric hospital.
Okay, so that's what all of us assumed that, and like I guess it's become that, but it was not its original intent. So we weren't wrong, but we weren't right either.
Yeah.
But now you can just use
Yeah.
or psychiatric.
While Ted Nichols' original 1968 musical Underscore was reused in the episode before, the original 1969 specifically for Scooby-Doo Where Are You reappears after going unused. New background music by Hoyt Curtin, 68, and in regular usage for the rest of.
We talked about the gag, including film Scooby.
This is one of the first times in which the gang is forced to split up instead of choosing to.
That's true.
Didn't even think about that.
This is one of the few episodes from the classic era, pre-90s, which showcases the friendship between members of the gang. Fred, Daphne, and Velma are shown very worried about Shaggy and Scooby being captured by the ghosts, and also very determined to save them. Daphne and Scooby dance together. Shaggy is hugging Velma at the very end.
The fact that this has to say this is one of the few times they show friendship, I'm like, what did people assume they were otherwise?
Dating.
Like I
was
get,
about to say dating.
Okay, all of these things listed would also apply to people dating. But I guess it makes sense that they never they are together, but it's not like shown that they're doing friendly stuff. But it's weird that has to be specified.
I think it's like very worried about Shaggy and Ghost. I feel like if you like knew a person, like of course you'd be worried about them being captured by a friend relation, even just like kind of like if you know enough to all be on a road trip together, like I would be worried about somebody being captured by.
Yeah, because like to me, the road trip is the ultimate test of your relationship with anybody, partner, friend, sibling.
Yeah, they actually became friends on their trip to Canada.
There you go.
They were not friends before Canada.
This has all been a very long trip just to get to Canada.
Yep. We're doing culture references, Charlie?
Yes.
Okay. When the gang hears Dr. Coffin's organ for the first time, Shaggy mentions, well, it isn't Stevie Wonder, who was one of Motown's most famous musicians in the 70s, who is well known for playing keyboards as well as other instruments.
When Daphne and Scooby are dancing towards the end, Shaggy says Scooby is a real Fred Astaire. Fred Astaire, 1899 to 1987, was a famous dancer and actor in the American Film Institute, named him the 5th greatest male star of the classic Hollywood cinema.
Ethan.
Yes.
How many shenanigans do we end this episode on?
Well, Charlie, we end this episode with a shenanigan count of 20.
Okay.
It's a
bit
respectable
on the low
number.
side, but, it's not our lowest so far.
That
I really thought we were
series
gonna...
of shenanigans really just right in a row.
Yeah, I thought we were really
bumped
gonna get
up.
it with some of those.
Yeah.
It was very good. And now, what do we want to rate this episode out of 5 Scooby? Do we enjoy?
I enjoy it. I have a lot of questions around the concept of the setup, but I do enjoy it.
I think there was a lot of inconsistency, so it was hard to suspend my disbelief at a certain point. Okay, there's a lot of
I think you gotta remember this is a cartoon.
Right, I know.
Yeah,
but at a certain point, it's difficult for me to do.
And you say that, whereas I'd say in the terms of Scooby-Doo stuff, this seems like one of the more tame, realistic.
Yeah. It's not the most out there episode we've seen.
Oh, I know it's not. I just think the moon. I don't know the moonbeams thing. I was like, what is that? It would have made more sense. I mean, I understand the nighttime thing. The sun. I'm gonna give it. Are we rating it out of 5? Scooby Snacks?
Yeah, out of 5.
I'm gonna give it 4 because it was very enjoyable to watch. So I think the logic there is why I'm not gonna give 5.
I think I would also give it a 4. I think it was pretty solid. It's not my favorite, but I did find it more enjoyable than I thought.
All right. Kayla?
Yeah, I'd say about 3.5 because there's a lot of that of just like the logic is just like I really like it, but there's so much of just like I could feel that the sanitarium is not necessary for this scheme.
Yeah, I'm actually inclined to agree with Kayla. I am going to give it a 3.5. Just because, like, I don't know. There were a lot of things I'm like, sure, that's how that would happen. And, like, I suspend my disbelief because this is a cartoon, but, like, it was kind of pushing my limits in some place. All that to say,
That's a 3.75.
it is 3.75.
All right. And last but not least, whose side are we on in this episode? Are we siding with our fake Mountie guy who stole gold or made gold bars and made them into bread, and it was very convoluted and weird? Do we side with this villain in this episode, or do we side
No,
with these
not
kids
really.
who are
Not
just
really. I mean,
trying to figure out where the fuck they are?
it could have been possible to side with the man, but I'd need a lot more backstory of why the heck he was like stealing this gold and what he was planning to do with it once he got to America.
I'm on Dr. Tewksbury's side because I just want a good meal and a nap.
That actually, yes, that is fair. I would agree. I'm on Dr. Tewksbury's side.
He did nothing wrong, honestly.
That we know of in this episode. Like
That we know of.
outside
in
of the episode, he did nothing.
I mean, medical malpractice and negligence aside.
Yeah, just those like tiny things. No big deal.
Yeah.
I'm on the side of the lightning that flipped the sign.
Flip the
destroyed
sign.
it,
Without
and made the ghost like appear very like dark and ridiculous.
You're on the side of the
And
lightning
honestly,
because it gave us the episode.
Yeah, and the thunder side effect, like the noise effects. Like I'm on the side of like the role of the thunder and lightning.
I think the lightning should have been a shenanigan every time.
Because it was very pivotal, it was very purposeful. So I think actually no, maybe I'll go with I'm on the side of the moonbeam in Scooby's asshole.
No.
Abby.
That was a joke. No,
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the thunder and the lightning. That's the side I'm on.
All right.
You can
Goodness.
cut that out. The moonbeam part, cut that out.
Well, it was a moon on his moon, so
A moon burn will.
you're welcome.
Oh,
Yeah, so that sure is the episode. I know neither of my friends here are really big social media people, but you can find both of them as we're going to, invite Kayla after this episode, but you can find both of them on the Mysteries in the Machine Discord. If you want to become a patron of ours for as little as $1 a month, you can join our Discord and chat with all of our guests, as well as see all the fan art and memes that we share and talk about episodes.
Very good.
But for now, we're gonna go split up and look for clues for our next mystery. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mysteries in the Machine would like to thank its $10 and up patrons, especially Davey B. Thank you for being so generous in helping us keep this podcast going.
You can follow this podcast socials at Mysteries in the Machine Pod on Instagram. You can send a message to our email, mysteriesinthamachinepod@gmail.com. Be sure to give us a rating, a review, or let your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws.
You can find me, Ethan, on Instagram and Threads at ethan.t.hewlin. Our music was written and produced by Jason Hilton. You can find him at Negative Selections on Instagram.
Kayla and I both have a page of notes on our phone.
Oh, I love
Excellent.
that. You guys take notes?
Yeah, we have a lot of thoughts.
Okay.
I'm so glad.
I love that. We will be
I'm
sure
s-
to get into that.
I'm excited for it. Ethan,
Yes.
are you ready for your opening? Because I think it is iconic.
Okay. It's
Oh, boy.
iconic. It is short. It is sweet. It is creepy. It is everything that I want.
Yes, it is. Proceed.